chances are that you probably have a little area around your garden or courtyard that you can only describe by using the word drab. I've got two simple ideas that are going to lift your place from drab to designer. The first job to tackle is our feature wall.
Thought Tara was the painting expert. To tell you the truth, this is just the undercoat. One thing that fibro cement does is it sucks up a lot of moisture. So it's super important that you prime it perfectly.
The final coat colour of our feature wall is Domino, this dark grey. And I've got something very cool to add to this that's really going to pop against it. On top of the fibro cement wall, for a bit of texture and detail, I'm going to add strips of timber.
When it comes to painting things like this or in situ, you've got to weigh up the pros and cons. Yes, I had to set up the trestle tables, but I can get to all the edges because you're only going to see three faces, the front and the two sides, and it means I'm not painting in situ where I'd be cutting in every individual slat. How much better does that look already? Now, the fibro cement's cheap and easy to work with, but when you dress it up like this, it looks like you've had a designer in, and the Domino is a great colour. As spacings, I'm just using an offcut, and that texture, when the sun hits it, will look amazing. I told you to be dramatic. How good do these staghorns look? Now, they're Australian native. They grow on the trunks of trees in really dark, damp, rainforest-type conditions, but they'll do perfectly well here on a feature board of marine ply. Now, this is a shady spot, so they're going to do fine. As far as maintenance goes, well, if you can get an old banana peel and throw it up and land it in there, that'll compost and it's nice food for them, and you need to water them from above so it falls down and runs the back. Now, I had to create this little step here to hide all those ugly pipes. They're going to ruin the look. And then to hide that little step, I'm going to put a shelf in here. So 3 little store-bought brackets, and this will be a beautiful little potting shelf.
By painting, adding a few simple features and some knockout plans, I've created a great little outdoor area that's going to take this space from drab to desirable. All right, next job. I guarantee you nearly every house in Australia would have a spot just like this. Well, the good news is you can fix up your blind spot and turn it into a real feature. You don't have to spend a lot of money and you can knock it over in a weekend. Let's have a crack. When you're tackling a job at home, it's good to explore your options. Now, I've got materials delivered in bags. That means they can crane it off the front and put it near the job. Means it's not sitting out the front, and if you don't finish the job over a weekend, you're not annoying your neighbours and the council, which you can get in trouble for. But doing it this way can save me a lot of time and potential headaches. So each step is like a tiny little retaining wall, but they're structurally super sound because just to hold back that 200 mil, I've got this line along the back here. So it's like the world's biggest dead man, which is what you'd put into a big, tall retaining wall. And then if I tie that one into this one and repeat it again, the whole thing is one unit and it's not going to go anywhere. On the other side, where I'm just putting in short dead men, I can ram down something which pretty much just looks like a big tomato steak using no concrete, and the whole thing will stay in place. I've got power that ran to a deleted water feature, and I've got water over there, which is the backwash to the pool in the backyard. So rather than chopping the timber and then putting another piece in and losing that strength in the dead man, I've just cut around it with a circ saw, so I've still got the one piece of timber. Now, the steps are practical. They're made out of treated pine, but they're not real showy. So to dress them up across the front of the risers, I'm going to put some of this OxyShield. Now, it's an interlocking garden edge, but it's also going to work perfectly well as a cladding. Now, as far as planting this out, I didn't want to put any formal little hedges in or anything that was too much hard work because it's still a service area, albeit a good-looking and practical service area now, just to get the bins in and out or to bring things into the backyard. And because it's heavily shaded, most of these plants are perfect for the indoors. We've got little Xanadus, we've got Philodendrons, I always find that one hard to say, and this one here. Now, if you look at this, it's called a ribbon plant, and that light white margins on it where it's variegated is nice and bright and pops in this little dark area. Monday grass, it's a good old-fashioned standard one, not mini or giant. and Clivias or Clivias, depending on who you are and where you're from. For the bulk of the path, we're using that small pebble. Around the sides, I've got some bigger ones. Just as a contrast, they'll draw your eye. It's another point of interest. With the little detail of the rust and the pebbles going down, it's all starting to come together. Well, I think the before and after speak for themselves. The best thing about this, it hasn't cost a lot of money and it doesn't take a long time. Now, if you can cut a piece of timber, you can make those stairs in an afternoon. And the pebbles and the plants, well, they're just dressing up. Do it over a couple of weekends. Do it as you've got the money. But trust me, for what this cost and how it looks, you think I've cheated.